welcome back to review. And I kind of accidentally got cut off because I was starting to get into it, and it just kind of. So yeah, we left off on the snail part. So blah 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 blah. Okay. So right after the snail foaming part, and it should be almost at the bottom of a few sentences from the bottom of page 119, and it starts with Montag shut his eyes. So here we go. Montag shut his eyes, shouted, and fought to get his hands at his ears to clamp and cut away the sound. Beatty flopped over and over, and at last twisted on himself like a charmed wax doll, and lay silent. The other two firemen did not move. Montag kept his sickness down long enough to aim the flamethrower, turn around, and turn their faces blank meat, steamed sweat. He beat their heads, knocking off their helmets and bringing them down on themselves. They fell and lay without moving. The blowing of single autumn leaves. He turned to the mechanical hound, and the mechanical hound was there. It was half across the lawn, coming from the shadows, moving with such drifting ease that it was like a single solid cloud of black-gray smoke blown at him in silence. It made a single last leap into the air, coming down at Montag from a good 3 feet over his head, its spidered legs reaching, and the croquet needle snapping out of its single angry tooth. Montag caught it with the bloom of fire, a single wondrous blossom that curled in petals of yellow and blue and orange around the metal dog, clad in a new covering as it slammed into Montag and threw him 10 feet back against the bowl of a tree. Taking the flame gun with him, he felt it scrabble and seize his legs and stabbed the needle in for a moment before the fire snapped the hound up in the air, burst its metal bones at the joints, and blew out its interior in single flushing of red color. With a skyrocket fastened to its streak, Montag lay watching the dead alive thing fiddle in the air and die. Even now it seemed to want to get back at him and finish the injection, which was now working through the flesh of his legs. He felt all the mingled relief and horror at having pulled back only in time to have just his knee slammed at the fender of a car, hurtling but at 90 miles an hour. He was afraid to get up, afraid he might not be able to gain his feet at all. With his anesthetized legs, a numbness and a numbness, hollowed into a numbness. And now, the street empty, the house burnt. Sorry. The house burned. Oh my. Okay. The street empty, the house burnt, like an accident bit of stage scenery. The other homes dark and hound here, Beatty there, the two other firemen another place in the salamander. He gazed in the immense engine. That would have to go too. Well, he thought, let's see how badly off you are on your feet now. Easy there. He stood, and he had only one leg. The other one was like a chunk of burnt pine log, as he was carrying along a pinnace for some obscure stem. When he put his weight on it, a shower of silver needles gushed up from the length of calf, and he went off in the knee. He wept, come on, you can't stay here. A few house lights were going on again and down the street, whether from the incident just past or because of the abnormal silence following the fire, Montag did not know. He hobbled around the ruin, seizing at his bad leg when it lagged, talking and whispering and shouting directions at it and cursing it and pleading with it to work for him. Now, when it was vital, he heard a number of people crying out in the darkness and shouting. He reached the backyard and the alley. Beatty, he thought, you're not a problem now. You always said don't face a problem, burn it. Well, now I've done both. Goodbye, Kathy. And he stumbled along the alley in the dark. A shotgun blast went off in his leg every time he put it down, and he thought, you're a fool, a damn fool, an awful fool, an idiot, an awful idiot, a damn idiot, and a fool, a damn fool. Look at the mess, where's the mop? Look at the mess, what do you do? Pride, damn it, the temper, you junked it. You junked it all. At the very start, you vomit on everyone, on yourself. But everything at once. But everything, one on top of another. Beatty, the women, Mildred, three, everything. No excuse, though, no excuse. A fool, a damn fool. Don't give yourself up. No, we'll save what we can. We'll do what there is left to do. If we have to burn, let's take a few more with us here. He remembered the books and turned back, just on the off chance. He found a few books where he had left them, near the garden fence. Mildred, God bless her, had missed a few. 4 books still lay hidden, and there he had put them. Voices were wailing in the night, and flash beams swirled around. Other salamanders were roaring, their engines far away, and police sirens were cutting their way across town with their sirens. Montag took the 4 remaining books and jolted, hopped his way down the alley, and suddenly fell as if his head had been cut off and only his body lay there. Something inside him jerked him to a halt and flopped him down. He lay there and he had fallen and sobbed, his legs folded, his face pressed blindly to the gavel. Beatty wanted to die. Beatty wanted to die. In the middle of his crying, Montag knew it for the truth. Beatty had wanted to die. He just stood there, not really trying to save himself, just stood there joking, needling. Thought Montag, and thought was enough to stifle his sobbing, and let him pause for air. How strange! Strange to want to die so much. What you let a man walk through, armed, and then instead of shutting up and staying alive, you go on yelling at people and making fun of them until they get them mad, and then, at a distance, running feet. Montag sat up. Let's get out of here. Come on. Get up, get up. You just can't sit. But he is still crying. And you had to be finished. It was going away now. He wanted to kill anyone. He didn't want to kill anyone. He hadn't wanted to kill anyone, not even Beatty. His flesh gripped him and shrank as if it had been plunged into acid. He gagged. He saw Beatty, a torch, not moving, fluttering around in the grass. He bit at his knuckles. I'm sorry, oh God, sorry. He tried to piece it all together, go back to the normal pattern of life, few short days ago before the seed and sand. Venom detritus, mock-voiced fireflies, the alarms of excretion, too much a few short days, too much indeed for a lifetime. For a few short days, too much indeed for a lifetime. I won't read those, I'm sorry. Feet ran to the far end of the alley. Get up, he told himself. Damn it, get up. He said to the leg and stood up. The pains were spikes, driven in his kneecaps, and then only darning needles, and then only common, ordinary safety pins. After he had shagged along 50 more hops and jumps, filling his hands with sheets of silver from the board fence, the prickling was like someone blowing a spray of scalding water on his leg. And the leg was at last his own leg again. He had been afraid that running might break the loose ankle. Now, sucking all the night into his open mouth and blowing it out pale, with all the blackness left heavily inside him. himself, he set out in a steady jogging pace. He carried the books in his hand. He thought of Faber. Faber was black there in a steaming lump of tar that had no name or identity now. He had burnt Faber too. He suddenly felt so shocked by this that he felt Faber was really dead, baked like a roach in that small green capsule, shoved and locked in the pocket of a man who was now nothing but a frame, skeleton, stung with an asphalt tendon. You must remember, burn them or they'll burn you, he thought. Right now it's as simple as that. He searched his pockets. The money was there. In his other pocket he found the usual seashell upon which the city was talking to itself in the cold black morning. Police alert, wanted fugitive in city. Has committed murder and crimes against the state. Name, Guy Montag. Occupation, fireman. Last seen, he ran steadily for 6 blocks in the alley, and then alley opened out onto a wide, empty, though fair, thin lanes wide. It seemed like a boatless river frozen there in the raw light of the high white arc lamp. He couldn't drown trying to cross it, he felt. It was too wide. It was too open. It was a vast stage without scenery, inviting him to run across, easily seen in the blazing illumination. Easily caught, easily shot down. The seashell hummed in his ear. Watch for a man running. Watch for the running man. Watch for a man alone on foot. Watch. Montag pulled in the shadows. Directly ahead lay a gas station. A great chunk of Proclinian snow shining there. The 2 silver beetles pulling in to fill up. Now he must be clean and presentable, with wish to walk, not run, and stroll calmly across the wide boulevard. It would give him an extra margin of safety if he washed up and combed his hair before he went on his way to get where? Yes, he thought, where am I running? Now, nowhere. There was nowhere to go, no friend to turn to, really, except Faber. And then he realized that he was indeed running toward Faber's house, instinctively. But Faber couldn't hide him. It would be suicide, even to try. But he knew that he would go see Faber anyway, for a few short minutes. Faber would be the place where he might refuel his fast-draining belief in his own ability to survive. He just wanted to know that there was a man like Faber in the world. Ugh. Okay, well, that was through page 125. So, I'll see y'all next time. Hope you are liking the book so far. Bye!